Cyclone Dana is threatening to impact both the states of West Bengal and the state of Odisha. In fact, authorities have now started making sure that they evacuate the people close to the coastal regions. Over the past 3 to 4 days, close to 10 lakh people have been moved into safety shelters. And the next 24 hours will be very, very crucial. The NDRF, the Indian Air Force, all of them have been pressed into action. The authorities are all set. People have been moved both in the state of West Bengal as well as the state of Odisha. The storm is all set to cross northern Odisha and West Bengal between Puri and Sagar Island. The authorities, the NDRF, the Indian Air Force, all of them are on standby. And districts, the measures have been taken to make sure that minimum damage is done to the coastal districts. The storm is in all likelihood will be hitting the coast by noon today.
Teams have come in from Siliguri and they'll be deployed over here. They are untrucking their equipment so that they are ready for tomorrow and day after. Over here, these people have, the Jawans of NDRF have almost everything that will be required to tackle any untoward situation. This one is an electric saw. It's basically kept with the NDRF Jawans and personnel so that in case of an untoward incident like a tree dislodged on the road, they can cut it and they can use it to clear the place. They have their own generators to provide electricity in a situation where there is no electricity. They have their own boats which can be used on any kind of a territory where there is flooding. These are electrically motored. They have firefighting stuff as well. These items which are used to save anyone if one is injured in the view of paramedics. So all these things are with the NDRF and they are stationed over here. As I mentioned, that 2 teams will be stationed in Kolkata so that no untoward incident, if an untoward incident occurs, then the NDRF Jawans and the personnel can take care of it and make sure that life isn't halted in the city at the behest of this particular cyclone named Dana. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today, Kolkata.
24th to morning of 25th October, as a severe cyclonic storm, and while crossing the coast, the wind speed will be around 100 to 110 km per hour, gusting to 120 km per hour, due to which all the ports are warned and the port warning signal is issued for Paradip, Dhamra, Puri port great danger 10 and for Gopalpur great danger 8 signal is hoisted for the ports.
हमारे जो सारे विभाग हैं उनके साथ हमने मीटिंग किया है और सारे जो कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट से उनको निर्देश डिपार्टमेंट वाइज दिए गए हैं कि उन्हें किस टाइप का अरेंजमेंट करना है. सारे बीडीओ तहसीलदार आईएसएस को इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया गया है कि जो हमारे साइक्लोन शेल्टर्स है उनका प्रिपेयर्डनेस उन्होंने ऑलरेडी चेक कर रखा है और आज जो वल्नरेबल एरियाज में है उन्हें शिफ्टिंग करने का कार्यभार उन्हें दिया गया है. तो हमारा जो टीपीसीओ डेल है, जो ट्रांसमिशन हमारी कंपनी है, उसको भी अराउंड 800 मैन पावर उन्होंने बैकअप में रखा है कि यदि कुछ इवेंचुअलिटी होता है, ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ हमारा ड्यू टू साइक्लोन डिसरप्ट होता है, तो इमीडिएटली वो अपना कार्य चालू करेंगे.
My colleague Anupam is now joining me on the story. Anupam, if you can tell us the kind of measures that have been put in place. From what we understand, the Indian Air Force, the NDRF, all of them have been pressed into action.
Well, Aishwarya, as the cyclone is barreling towards coastal Odisha and Bengal, let me show you first the condition here. The speed of wind is picking up. Wind speed is picking up, and you can see trees. The wind speed around at present is around 40 to 50 kilometer. But as the cyclone will approach towards coastal area, the wind speed will pick up, and it will go around 100 to 110 kilometer, gusting to 120 kilometer. And we are at Dhamra port, and this is the place where, according to Met Department, the cyclone Dana is set to make its landfall, and NDRF teams, disaster management teams, all are on high alert. almost 3 lakh people in Odisha have been evacuated from coastal areas, because that is the danger zone, and several people, most of the people lives in kacha houses there, and they have to be evacuated as the cyclone will approach and will make landfall in these areas. And several cyclone shelters have been built up at the coastal areas, and people who have been evacuated have been sheltered there. So the Bengal administration and Odisha administration both are trying its best to minimize the casualties, which is the policy for the last few years, and they have they are trying to adopt a zero casualty approach, and they are trying to do it like last time they did it. So we can hope that the casualties will be very minimum, but it depends upon the wind speed.
So that's my colleague Anupam who's telling you the kind of measures that have been put in place. We'll now tell you exactly what's taking place with regards to the state of Odisha and the state of West Bengal. Now, this is where the landfall will take place, which means the areas of Visakhapatnam, Bhubaneswar, a little bit of Dhanbad also, Dhaka. These are the areas where the landfall will take place. You will be able to see that this is almost, purple, which means that this is where, the landfall will happen. And these are the districts, the coastal districts, Visakhapatnam, Bhubaneswar, and also the city of West Bengal. All these areas have been cleared out. Over the past 3 to 4 days, close to 10 lakh families have been moved away from the coastal districts, and they have been moved to safer places. The NDRF has been pressed into action along the entire coastline, because this becomes the epicenter. This Bhubaneswar, Visakhapatnam, all these areas are the areas where the maximum damage. There are chances that maximum damage could take place. That's the reason why, the NDRF, the Engineer Force, all of them have been pressed to action. And people, both in the states of Odisha, the coastal region of Odisha and the coastal region of West Bengal, they have been moved away to safety locations.